In the quiet dark of deep space, there was only silence. Stars blinked slowly in the distance, cold and far. Commander Kale sat alone in his ship, staring at the empty screen. He had been searching for years, across many star systems. No one else believed the story, but Kale did. Because he made a promise 10,000 years ago, a promise to return, to find her, to bring her home. Kale was once part of a great space mission, a mission that traveled through a wormhole. But something went wrong. Time moved differently. When he returned, thousands of years had passed. Earth was new again. Wars were over. Humans had spread to every corner of the galaxy, but she was gone. Her name was Aurelin. She was not human. She was the last of an alien race called Elysians. They were peaceful, full of knowledge, but the war destroyed them, all except her. And Kale promised to come back for her. Before he went into the wormhole, she looked into his eyes and said, "I'll wait for you." And now he was finally searching. Kale's ship, the Solace, drifted through Sector 19 Zeta. No one came here. Too many lost ships, too many strange signals. But Kale was not afraid. His scanner beeped softly, then louder. A message appeared on the screen. Just 3 words, repeating again and again, "I'm still here." Kale froze. His hands shook as he checked the coordinates. The signal was weak, but real. It came from a dead planet named Veralia, long forgotten, destroyed in the final battles of the Elysians. Could it be? Kale whispered. The computer voice replied, "Unlikely, Commander." But Kale didn't care. He changed course immediately. His heart beat faster after so many years. There was still hope. As the Solace approached Veralia, the stars around it seemed dimmer. The planet was dark, broken, like it had been shattered and stitched back together. No lights, no cities, only ruins. But the signal was stronger now. Louder, clearer. "I'm still here," again and again. Kale landed the ship near a large mountain of stone and steel. Once it was a temple, now it was half buried. He put on his suit and stepped out. Dust covered everything. No wind, no sky. Only the silence of death. But Kale kept walking, inside the temple. Strange markings glowed faintly. He followed them, deeper and deeper. Memories came back. He had been here before. This was where he said goodbye to her, Aurelin, with silver eyes and a soft voice. She believed in peace. She believed in him. Suddenly, a noise echoed behind him. Kale turned fast, gun ready. But there was nothing, only shadows and dust. Then he heard it. A whisper, soft and full of pain. "Kale, is that you?" His heart stopped. He dropped the gun. "Who's there?" He called. No answer, only the sound of the signal in his helmet. He moved forward, and then saw it. A glowing crystal set in a strange machine. The signal was coming from this device. Kale touched it. A flash of light filled the room. Images appeared in the air. Aurelin's face, her eyes, her voice. "This is my last message," she said. "If you are seeing this, then you have returned." Kale fell to his knees. "I'm here," he whispered. "I'm sorry it took so long," the message continued. "I don't know how much time has passed," she said. "I entered deep stasis, powered by the energy of the planet. If the world dies, I die." Kale stood, eyes wide. "She's still alive," he said, "but barely." He checked his scanner, a weak life sign, buried deep underground. Very faint, but real. Kale's eyes burned with new hope. He spoke into his recorder. "Log entry 112. Kale reporting," he said. "She's alive and I will find her." "I have to." He moved quickly, deeper into the ruins. The stone walls closed in. Each step was heavier than the last. Suddenly, the ground shook, the lights flickered, and then, a voice louder this time, clearer. "Kale, don't leave me." He looked up. A doorway opened by itself. Inside was a stasis pod, cracked, old, but still glowing. Inside it was her, floating, still, untouched by time. He touched the glass. "I found you," he whispered. "I found you, but..." Then, a red light blinked on the pod, a warning. Something was wrong. Kale turned to leave, to get help, and that's when he saw it. A shadow standing in the doorway, tall and strange, not human, not her, but watching, silently. Kale raised his gun. "Who are you?" he asked. No answer, only silence. Then the shadow stepped forward and spoke in a voice cold like metal. "She cannot wake up," it said. "Not yet." A cold wind blew through the ruins, even though there was no air. Kale stood frozen, his hand still on the glass of Aureline's pod. The shadow moved closer, its feet silent on the stone floor. It was tall, covered in dark armor with glowing blue lines. Not a human, not a machine, something in between. "Who are you?" Kale asked again, his voice steady. The figure stopped 2 steps away, then spoke. "I am Zithra," it said. "I am her guardian." Its voice sounded like metal grinding against time. "I was created to protect the last Elysian." Kale lowered his weapon just a little. He looked at Aureline, still asleep, her body inside the glowing pod. "She's alive," Kale said. "I came back for her." Zithra tilted its head, almost like it was thinking. "Yes," it replied, "but she cannot wake up, not yet." The air inside the ruins grew heavier. Kale's heart was racing. "Why?" he asked. "She's been waiting for me for 10,000 years. Zithra turned and pointed toward the ceiling. Above them, the temple was covered in bone carvings, twisted shapes, lost souls. "The planet is dying," Zithra said. She linked her life to this world's energy. It was the only way to survive. "If the planet dies, she dies." Kale clenched his fists. "Then we save the planet," he said. Zithra paused, then nodded slowly. "There is a way," it said, "but it will cost you." Kale followed Zithra through broken halls and forgotten chambers. The walls told stories, paintings of a once beautiful world. Aliens flying in the sky, cities glowing with life. Now, all that was gone, dead, cold, and buried. Zithra stopped in front of a stone door. It waved its hand, and the door opened with a deep sound. Inside was a massive room, filled with skeletons. Alien bones lay in circles, surrounding a single crystal platform. "The planet of bones," Zithra said. "This is where the Elysians gave their lives." Kale stepped forward slowly. "These are her people?" Zithra nodded. "They gave their energy to the crystal core, to protect her pod. But the crystal is broken now. Unstable. It needs a new source." Kale looked at the center of the room, where a shattered energy core pulsed weakly. "This is the only way to wake her?" "Yes," Zithra said. "But the crystal is incomplete. One piece is missing." Kale looked confused. "Where is it?" Zithra's eyes glowed dimly. "The missing shard fell into the maw." "The maw?" Kale asked. "The black hole. At the edge of this galaxy." Silence filled the room like dust. "A black hole. A place where nothing escapes. You're asking me to go into that?" Kale asked. "Yes," Zithra replied. "Or she will sleep forever." Kale turned to look at Aureline's faint image on a floating screen nearby. "She trusted me," he whispered. "I won't let her down." Outside the temple, Kale prepared his ship. The solace had taken damage, but it could still fly. Zithra followed, carrying the coordinates to the black hole. "You have 72 hours," Zithra said. "After that, her pod will shut down permanently." As Kale launched into space, the planet shrank behind him. Veralia, the world of bones, the last memory of an entire race. Kale looked back only once. He whispered to himself, "Wait for me, Aureline. I'm coming back." The ship entered warp speed, stars stretching into long trails of light. Inside the ship, Kale opened an old data file, a video of Aureline laughing. It was blurry, but it warmed his heart. She had been kind, gentle, different from any creature he'd ever known. She had seen the good in him when he didn't believe in himself. As the stars flew past, Kale thought of the mission ahead. A black hole, a dying crystal, a sleeping woman who waited through time itself. The galaxy may have forgotten her, but Kale never did. Suddenly, alarms beeped. Zithra's voice came through. "The intercom. We're close," it said. "The maw is ahead." Kale stared into the blackness in front of him, a spinning circle of endless dark, pulling light into its mouth. No ship had ever returned from this place, but Kale wasn't just anyone. He was a man who made a promise 10,000 years ago, and now he was ready to keep it. Everything turned black, no stars, no sound, no ship systems, only the crushing silence of the maw, a place where light came to die. Kale's ship spun wildly, pulled into the black hole's gravity. His hands gripped the controls, fighting to stay alive. The ship groaned, metal bending like paper. Time slowed, stretched, then collapsed in on itself. Inside the cockpit, Kale heard voices, not from the radio, not from the ship, from his own mind. "Orlin, is that you?" he whispered. A voice replied, soft and broken. "I'm sorry. I'm so tired." It was her. Or maybe it was just the black hole playing tricks. Suddenly, a flash of light broke through the darkness. Kale was no longer inside his ship. He was standing in the ruins of Veralia. But it was alive. Green trees, bright skies, laughter, aliens walking peacefully. And in the center, Orlin, glowing, smiling, alive. She turned and looked at him. "You came back," she said. He ran toward her. But the world began to fade. "No!" Kale shouted. "Don't leave again." Everything shattered like glass. Kale was back in the ship, alarms blaring. Zithra's voice cut through the chaos. "You are nearing the shard, Commander." The missing crystal floated just beyond the ship, spinning near the event horizon, so close to being lost forever. Kale activated the drone arm, slowly guiding it toward the shard. But the ship's power began to fail. "The gravity is tearing us apart," Zithra warned. Kale had no choice. He connected his own life support to the drone battery, giving it the last bit of energy. The drone reached the crystal, grabbed it, and pulled back. Success. But Kale collapsed in his seat, barely breathing. "You won't survive this jump," Zithra said coldly. "I don't care," Kale gasped. "Just get the crystal to her." Zithra activated emergency warp. The drone with the shard launched toward Veralia, but Kale's ship couldn't follow. The black hole pulled it deeper, faster. Kale looked at the image of Orlin one last time. "Please wake up," he whispered. "I kept my promise." Then silence, back on Veralia. Zithra landed the drone and placed the shard into the ancient core. Energy flowed like a river of stars. The planet trembled, the sky turned purple. The pod glowed, then cracked. Orlin's eyes opened. She sat up slowly, weak, confused, her voice barely a whisper. "Kale." Zithra stood near her, quiet for once. "He gave everything," it said. Orlin stepped out of the pod, her body glowing with life and sorrow. "No," she whispered. "He can't be gone." She walked to the temple where the walls spoke. With light, she touched the glowing crystal core. Suddenly, her mind filled with Kale's memories. His search, his pain, his promise. Then another voice echoed through the dust. "I'm not gone." Her eyes widened. His voice was in the crystal. His mind had survived, somehow. Inside the energy of the shard, Kale was still alive, but not in body. "Not yet," Zithra spoke softly. "Your bond with him is strong," it said. "There may still be a way to bring him back." Orlin looked toward the rising sun. Hope returned to her eyes. "He found me," she whispered. "Now I will find him, far across the stars, inside the heart of the black hole." A spark of light remained. It pulsed once then. Again, Kale's mind. Still holding on. The stars above Veralia flickered like dying fireflies. Orlin stood in the Temple of Bones, holding the glowing shard in her hands. Kale's voice echoed softly inside her mind. Faint, fading, but still there, still alive. "He's trapped," she said, her voice shaking. Inside the black hole, Zithra stood beside her, its eyes glowing with strange sadness. "His body is gone," it said, but his consciousness merged with the shard. Fragments of his soul still remain. Orlin closed her eyes. I waited for him for 10,000 years, she whispered. I won't lose him now. She turned. To Zithra, there must be a way. Zithra hesitated, then spoke slowly. There is. But it is dangerous. Arlen stepped closer. Tell me. The black hole erases everything, Zithra said. But at the center, there is a singularity echo, a moment where all lost information floats before vanishing. If you reach it, you might find what's left of him. But your body will not survive, Arlen nodded. I don't need my body. I only need him. Zithra's arms extended, opening a hidden chamber beneath the temple. Inside was an ancient Elysian device, glowing like a heartbeat. This is a mind vessel, Zithra said. It will carry your essence through space and time. But once inside, you cannot return, not unless he chooses to come back with you. Arlen looked at the device, her eyes filled with sorrow and love. I believe he will, she said. Moments later, Arlen stepped into the chamber, her body glowing. The machine sealed shut, and light burst from the temple like a dying star. Zithra watched in silence. For the first time in centuries, it felt hope across the galaxy, inside the swirling chaos of the black hole. Time bent like water. Kale's mind drifted through broken memories. He saw flashes of his childhood. The first time he saw Earth from space. The moment he met Arlen. The promise he made. I'll find you again. But now he was fading, piece by piece, memory by memory. Until a voice, her voice, Kale, it called, soft as a breath. Kale, I'm here. He opened his eyes. He was standing in a glowing forest. Not real, but beautiful. Arlen stood before him, glowing brighter than ever. He ran to her, and they embraced like two souls reborn. I thought I lost you, he whispered. You did, she said, smiling through tears. But I found you. The ground shook beneath their feet. The forest began to fall apart. We don't have much time, she said. You have to come with me. Kale looked around. I don't know how, Arlen reached into her chest, pulled out the shard, and placed it in his hand. This is us, she said. All that remains. If you believe, we can go home. He closed his eyes. He thought of her. The promise. The journey. The pain. He thought of life, of stars, of the world waiting for them. And then light, blinding, beautiful, endless, back on Veralia. The temple exploded with a shockwave of pure energy. Zithra shielded itself as the mind vessel burst open. From the smoke stepped two figures. Hand in hand, Arlen and Kale, reborn. Kale dropped to his knees, breathing hard. I thought I was gone. You were, Arlen said, smiling softly. But I wouldn't let you go. Zithra approached slowly. You did the impossible, it said. Kale looked up. No, he replied. We did. The ground beneath them began to shake. Veralia was no longer dying. The restored crystal core pulsed with life. Green returned to the land, light returned to the sky. The planet was waking up, but in the distance, something else stirred. Ships, dark and heavy, approaching fast. Human military fleets, tracking the crystal's energy, coming to take it or destroy it. Kale stood tall. They're coming, he said. Arlen narrowed her eyes. Then we make our stand. Zithra activated the temple defenses, and Kale gripped his weapon, not to conquer, but to protect the only life worth fighting for. The sky above Veralia was no longer dark. It shimmered with soft violet light, the color of rebirth. Plants pushed up through the cracks in stone. Ancient trees stretched toward a sun they hadn't seen in thousands of years. The planet was waking. And so was something else. Deep underground, in chambers older than time, crystals began to glow. Memories whispered through the soil, songs of the Elysians. Voices lost to history. They were returning, not in body, but in spirit. Because the last two, Kale and Arlen, had come back together, on the surface. Kale stood on the temple steps. Armor on, eyes sharp, he looked at the sky where the human fleet appeared, giant, dark and cold. They came fast, he said. Arlen stood beside him, glowing softly. They came because they fear what they don't understand, she said. And they don't understand life. Zithra floated behind them, scanning the air. The fleet carries a command signal. It said, they want the crystal core. If they take it, the planet dies. Kale clenched his fists. Then we don't let them land. But Orlin stepped forward, her voice calm and powerful. No, she said. We speak first. Kale turned to her, confused. They won't listen, he said. They never did. Orlin placed a hand on his chest. I'm not afraid of being hurt, she said. I'm afraid of losing who we are. She walked to the edge of the temple, raised her hands, and the ground responded. From the soil, light rose into the air, symbols, patterns, language, a message sent to the ships above, not in words, but in feeling. Peace, memory, unity. Up in orbit, Admiral Rowe watched from the command deck. Sir, a soldier said, the planet is sending a signal. It's not a threat, Rowe frowned. Any sign of Kale? Yes, sir, the soldier replied. He's down there alive. Silence filled the ship. They thought Kale had died, lost in a black hole, but he was back, and now standing with an alien, a woman glowing like a star. Prepare for landing, Rowe ordered. If we can't take the core, we take them, back on the planet. Kale and Orlin entered the heart of the crystal chamber. It now pulsed like a living heart. This is where it begins, she said. Kale nodded. We survived death, he said. We can survive them too. Suddenly, the temple shook. Dropships landed across the valley. Soldiers pouring out, weapons ready. Zithra activated the barrier fields. They are scanning for weakness, it said. Kale raised his blaster. Then let's show them we're not weak. But Orlin stepped in front of him again. No, she said. Let me try. She walked into the open, alone. Her body glowed brighter with every step. The human soldiers aimed their weapons. She didn't flinch. Her voice echoed across the valley. I am Orlin, she said. The last of the Elysians. I do not come to fight. Behind her, the plants bloomed wider. Trees grew taller. The land responded to her presence. I come to live, she said. Kale watched, breath held. Admiral Rowe stepped forward, gun in hand. He stared at her, then at Kale. You risked everything for this? Rowe asked. Kale walked beside her. I didn't risk it, he said. I chose it. A tense silence. Then Rowe lowered his weapon. This planet. It's alive, he said, and she's part of it. Suddenly, the crystal chamber behind them glowed like a star. The energy shot into the sky, reaching the orbiting ships. Power flowed into their systems, fuel, warmth, stability. The planet wasn't just alive. It was sharing. The soldiers stared, unsure, but one by one, they lowered their guns. Rowe spoke again, softer this time. We came to take, he said. But maybe we need to learn how to receive, Orlin smiled. Then stay, she said. And remember, that night, no shots were fired, no blood was spilled. Instead, around the temple, humans and Elysians, what little remained of them, sat together. They told stories, shared food, and watched the stars rise. Kale sat beside Orlin, her hand in his. He looked around and whispered, This is what we were fighting for. Zithra floated nearby, quiet as always. But deep within its code, something new had grown. A line of ancient data, glowing softly. The awakening has begun. Asterisk rain fell softly over the ruins of Aurelia. Not acid, not ash, but real rain, fresh and clean. The land had begun to heal, but Kale had not. He stood on the temple steps, hand pressed to his chest, feeling the pain grow stronger. Every hour his body became colder, slower, whatever kept him alive in the black hole was breaking now. Orlin watched him silently, her heart trembling. She could feel his life fading like a dim star. Zithra confirmed it with cold logic. His body cannot sustain the energy much longer, it said. If nothing changes, he will vanish within 3 cycles. Kale laughed weakly. 3 more days, he said. That's better than 0. Orlin didn't smile. There must be another way, she whispered. There's always a way. Zithra lowered its glowing eyes. There is one, it said, but its voice was slow, hesitant. Orlin turned sharply. What is it? Zithra floated to the center of the temple, where the crystal core pulsed quietly. The core now holds the power to create life, it said. It can rebuild a body, even bring one back from collapse. Kale's eyes widened. But, he asked. Zithra paused. To rebuild one, another must give, it said. The core must take a soul of equal energy. One life for another. Silence fell like a storm. Orlin's eyes filled with tears. You mean? Me. Zithra did not answer. It didn't have to. Kale shook his head. No, he said quickly. No way. But Orlin stepped closer to him. It's the only way, she said softly. Kale grabbed her shoulders. I didn't come this far to lose you again, he said. You waited for me. I can wait too. But Orlin smiled gently. You brought me back, she said. You gave up everything to find me. Now let me give it back. Kale stepped back, shaking his head. I won't let you disappear. We just got our future. Orlin reached for his hand. This is our future, she said. Sacrifice is not lost when it saves love. Far above, the stars flickered, and a quiet hum came from the core. It was ready. It was listening. Suddenly, Zithra stepped forward, interrupting. There is a third way, it said. Kale and Orlin looked up, confused. Zithra opened a small compartment in its chest, revealing a glowing sphere. This is my power source, it said. My existence was tied to hers. But if she chooses love, I can offer myself. Orlin gasped. You would end yourself? Zithra nodded. My purpose was to protect the last Elysian. That mission is complete. Kale stepped forward. But you've been with her for 10,000 years. You kept her alive. You watched this world die and still stood guard. Zithra's voice dimmed. And now, I choose, it said. Let the future live even if I do not. Orlin held the glowing sphere in her hands. It pulsed gently, like a sleeping heart. Tears streamed down her face. I don't want to lose anyone, she whispered. Kale placed his hand over hers. But you've already lost enough, he said. It's time someone else gave something back. Zithra walked to the core, its form growing fainter with each step. It looked back one last time. No life is wasted. If it lights another, it said. Then, it placed the sphere into the heart of the crystal. A flash of light exploded across the temple. The air cracked with raw energy. The sky turned gold. The earth trembled. Kale's body was lifted into the air, surrounded by light. Every wound, every fracture, every dying cell was restored. He gasped as breath returned to his lungs. Warmth filled his skin. His heart beat strong. He was alive fully. Orlin ran to him as he landed. And they held each other tightly. He whispered. I thought I lost you, she replied. We never lose what we love. But when they turned to where Zithra had stood, only silence remained. No light, no sound. Only peace. The temple hummed with quiet energy, and a new tree grew from the center of the floor. Its leaves shimmered with crystal dust, a sign of life and sacrifice. Kale looked at Orlin. We have to protect this, he said. She nodded. Not just for us, she replied, but for everything still to come. At the center of the ancient temple, a tree now stood. Its roots sparkled with crystal dust. Its branches reached for the sky like arms lifted in prayer. The first living tree on Veralia in 10,000 years. Born not from soil, but from sacrifice. Kale stood beneath it, eyes closed, breathing deeply. His heart beat strong. Steady, real, no pain, no weakness, no fear. Just life. Orlin walked beside him, her fingers gently touching the leaves. This tree, she whispered. It carries him. Kale nodded slowly. Zithra's soul became this. Not just a protector, he said. A guardian of the future. The news of what happened spread fast, across nearby colonies, to Earth, to the far edge of the Orion belt. A dead planet had awakened. Energy fields had changed. Scans showed something impossible. Veralia was becoming a living world again. Some feared it, others wanted it, but a few believed in it. Within days, more ships arrived, but not warships. These carried scientists, healers, dreamers, people tired of steel cities and cold laws. They came in silence, not with weapons, but with seeds, books, instruments, and art. Kale met them first, his voice calm and firm. "This is not a colony," he said. "This is a home. No flags, no borders, no ownership. You are welcome here if you choose to protect it." Aurelin stood beside him, glowing like morning. "Light, Veralia remembers pain," she said, "but now it must learn joy. Together." They helped the new arrivals build homes that blended into the land. Towers made of living stone, bridges of crystal light. No roads, only paths. No cities, only villages that breathed with the planet. The tree at the temple grew taller every day, and people called it the heart of Veralia. Some came just to sit beneath it. Others prayed there. Many cried, without knowing why. They said it felt like being forgiven, like being seen back on Earth. Debates filled high councils and broadcast screens. How did a planet thought dead come alive again? How did an alien and a human turn enemies into brothers? Was it real, or a lie dressed in myth? Kale sent a message back to Earth. A simple one. Just a few words. Words that changed everything. This is not a miracle. It's what happens when we choose love over control. Life over power, unity over fear. People listened. Not all, but enough. Within 1 year, the planet had become a symbol, not of conquest, but of healing. Broken scientists came to rediscover wonder. Soldiers came and laid down their armor. Children came and painted stars on the temple walls. Aurelin and Kale walked among them daily, not as rulers, but as reminders. Two souls who crossed time, war, and death, just to hold hands again beneath a living sky. One night, under a sky filled with twin moons, Kale looked up at the stars. "Do you think Zithra sees us?" he asked. Aurelin leaned against him, her voice soft. "He is everywhere now," she said. "In the roots, the winds, the light. And maybe," she added with a smile, "in the silence between heartbeats." That night, a baby was born under the heart tree, the first child of the new Veralia. Half human, half Elysian, glowing eyes and warm skin, a living bridge between two worlds. They named her Lyra, which meant light that returns. Kale held her gently. "She never know war," he whispered. "She only know what we give her." Aurelin kissed Lyra's forehead. "Then we give her peace," she said. "And stories. And songs. And stars." And so the story ended, not with a battle, not with a throne, but with a whisper, a breath, a heartbeat, and the soft roots of a tree that grew stronger with every soul it touched. Veralia lived. They all did.